Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, March 9th. So today we have the moon in Gemini all day. This can lead to some brilliant ideas, some brilliant opportunities for very strong, clarifying communication with those that need to have this conversation. And it does open us up to be a little bit nervous, a little bit jittery because our mental planes are pressurized. Adding to this pressurized mental plane situation, we have Mercury, who rules over the mental plane, ruler of Gemini energy, moving out of Aquarius and moving into Pisces. Definitely look out for that particular astro forecast that I spent a little bit more time on diving into to let you know what we can expect with Mercury moving into Pisces. So today we have a quote unquote quiet day. I feel like the pressurized situation in our mental plane is probably enough for us at this point. There are 6 different aspects taking place in the cosmos, and 4 of them involve the moon. So the moon makes a sextile, a beautiful blending of energy with Chiron. Chiron, of course, is the wounded healer. And at this particular juncture point, I would say that we are feeling a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more inspired. We're recognizing where it is that we have definitely healed up some ways of thinking, some ways of feeling attached to past situations, where it is that we are creating a brand new space for some brand new ideas to actually take form in our physical lives. And this is just kind of recognizing the efforts, the inner journey that we've been doing to try and get our heart and our head on the same page. The moon bumps into Uranus, and this is likely going to be a situation that takes place outside of us, outside of our control. It will likely take place either in an event or a relationship dynamic, maybe plans being disrupted, maybe things just not going the way that you had hoped, that will put us in a total situation of confusion and chaos. What we thought was working for us, what we thought we were inspired to pursue, what we thought we were working towards, suddenly gets a wrench thrown at us. And of course, that Uranian energy likes to provide us with clarity, with a bigger, broader perspective on what it is we need to do. But sometimes we only get to that realization when there's confusion and chaos that takes place in our life. And sometimes we need that confusion and chaos, that disruption, if you will, in order for us to think up of a brand new path, a brand new way to kind of improvise on short-term notice that will actually put us on a better path, a detour, if you will, that has a path of ease and grace that we wouldn't have normally found if we would have stuck to the plan. The moon does bump into Pluto in not the nicest way. And this is definitely going to add to the confusion, to the chaos that this Uranian energy just created. Again, outside of us, outside of our control, outside of our plans, definitely a disruption, definitely shaking things up to see how stable we are, how adaptable we are. The moon in Gemini, of course, bumping into Pluto in this way will likely bring up a lot of negative thinking, a lot of past memories, past trauma. And the whole point here is we've recognized now that we're in this phase where we have to do things differently in order to get a different result. This particular disruption or upset is really testing us to see if we have the mental and emotional capabilities of not falling victim to the old way that we would have handled things. This is an opportunity for us to take a pause, take a minute, for us to see the life lessons that we're being tested with, to see where the negative narrative, the doubts, the insecurities, the fears are arising, and whether or not we're going to fall back into the same old way of handling things and feeling, or whether or not we're going to improvise and try something new to get a different result. At this particular point in time, Mercury bumps into Uranus. This is the last aspect that Mercury makes while in Aquarian energy. And funny enough, Uranus rules over Aquarius. So this is a shock to the system, a shock to our mental plane. This is a good aspect, which means that there's a high probability that we chose the road earlier in the day due to the disruption, due to the negative thoughts and thinking, where we chose to do something differently. We chose to react differently. We chose to communicate differently. something changed. There was an element of inspiration, an aha moment, an idea that got downloaded to us where we opened our minds up to a new method, a new way of doing things, especially when it comes to our relationships, our money matters, the routine that we thought we were going to have for the day. We're definitely passing this particular life lesson with flying colors. And at this particular moment, after we've kind of had this aha moment, this shift in perspective, this amount of clarity that we did have an opportunity to fall victim to our past selves, but we chose to align with our higher selves and choose a different path for ourselves. This is when Mercury moves into Pisces. And let me tell you, things are going to get very vague, very wish-washy. Our intuition is leading us through this next chapter. Things aren't going to make a whole lot of logical and practical sense, but we're going to have a gut reaction, an intuitive reaction that we know that we have to take a leap of faith. We know we have to trust ourselves and trust the plan. We know that we have to do things a little bit differently. We end the day off with a little tiny bit of friction because here's the thing. The moon is going to square, which is a tension point. It's a conflict point with Jupiter. Jupiter is about growth and expansion, about belief systems, about abundance, about silver linings. It illuminates for us what it is that we want more of. He's in Pisces. We want more empathy. We want more compassion. We want more magic. We want more connection. We want more of a lot. But the problem with wanting more is recognizing what it is you're currently lacking. This is where we can find ourselves in an emotional funk, recognizing that we're sitting in the victimhood mentality, overwhelmed with all of the things that we have to do in order to actually obtain the more that we realize that we want, and get overwhelmed with those plans, with that strategy, with all of the energy and effort that is needed to actually get us there. So again, we have an opportunity to align with a higher dream, a higher vision of what it is that we want more of, allowing that to inspire us to act as the catalyst to do whatever it takes to make the changes that are needed in order to actually get to that end goal. Or we can fall victim to that scarcity mindset, that lack of mindset, and sit in a funk in our present moment, whining and complaining of all the things that we currently don't have, all of the things that we currently want, and all of the energy and effort, time that is going to be needed in order to actually get to our end goal. Again, the choice is yours.